Zelensky says Ukraine will fight until it regains all its territories after Kissinger remark.
Here's a summary of the article.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said during the World Economic Forum on Wednesday that Ukraine would fight until it regained all of its territories, comments that come after former Secretary of State Henry Kissinger remarked that Ukraine's borders should remain as they were prior to the start of the Russian invasion. When Ukraine says that it will fight until it regains all its territories, it means only one thing, that Ukraine will fight until it regains all its territories. This is about independence and sovereignty, Zelensky said. In my view, movement towards negotiations and negotiations on peace need to begin in the next 2 months so that the outcome of the war should be outlined. But before it could create upheaval and tensions that will be ever harder to overcome, particularly between the eventual relationship of Russia, Georgia and of Ukraine towards Europe. Ideally, the dividing line should return the status quo ante, Kissinger said in reference to Ukraine's borders. Just days before the start of the invasion, 2 breakaway regions in eastern Ukraine were recognized as independent by the Russian government. The remarks come as the Russian invasion in Ukraine has lasted 3 months. Zelensky said on Wednesday that Ukraine was open to talks with Russia, but said Moscow needed to show interest in such communication. We can move to this stage when we understand that at least the Russian side shows a desire to move from the stage of bloody war to diplomacy, Zelensky said.
This post received a score of 21,000, with an upvote ratio of 95%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
To quote the great Anthony Bourdain, "Once you've been to Cambodia, you'll never want to stop beating Henry Kissinger to death with your bare hands. What a cunt."
I had a law professor who was an unindicted co-conspirator in an alleged plot to kidnap Kissinger.
I'm not saying, too bad she failed. But I'm not saying, too bad she failed. Gender.
I'll say it. Too fucking bad. The world would be a little better.
The Pacific Ocean also contains a little water.
Kissinger has been a political lobbyist for the part 30 years and Russia is one of his clients.
The man is a monster and it's a travesty he is still breathing.
Seriously. Why? Why is this shit stain still alive?
As my grandma said, bad people live longer because they fear where they're going after. That being said, she lived until 90 and was a smoker until 65.
Can confirm, my maternal grandmother was a sociopathic bitch and she lived to 104.
Did you ever ask her which party she was a member of between 1933 and 1945?
Everyone was on vacation. Sie würden sich hinsetzen. Sie würden ruhig sein. Sie würden nicht beleidigen Deutschland.
Ah yes, Henry Kissinger, the guy who got famous by writing about how we need more nukes and should use them all the time. Let's listen to that monster on how to solve this.
Same Henry Kissinger that was swindled by Theranos and edit. Whoops, that was George Shultz.
Seriously, stealing from Kissinger was the one noble thing Elizabeth Holmes ever did.
Kissinger is great at losing wars.
On Behind the Bastards, they called him the Forrest Gump of war crimes, and I thought that was both funny and pretty spot on.
98 fucking years old. I'm not sure if the good die young, but evil bastards sure do seem to live forever.
I can't help but be reminded of Cheney.
How the fuck has Kissinger not been arrested for war crimes?
Basically because the US doesn't recognize the International Criminal Court, so putting out a warrant for him will just piss off the US government in return for no real shot at dragging him to The Hague. Kissinger is just not worth it to any real power player.
Or TLDR, saved by the real politic he championed, really.
It doesn't matter what a dinosaur like Kissinger is telling. He is a war criminal and belongs to court.
Nobel Peace Prize winner.
Yeah, not a lot of credibility with that prize.
Kissinger is a war criminal who should have died years ago. He can get royally fucked.
Why is Kissinger still alive?
You can place a bet on when he's going to die.
June 4, 2023.
Fucking Kissinger and his fucked up world status quo ideology. There can't be many people alive more responsible for the misery of millions than utter fucking scrote.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.